Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome to my beauty stash. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you all so much for watching another one of my videos. Before we begin, make sure you click on that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you never miss one of my video uploads. So those of you who have been watching me for a while know that I am a normal to oily skin type, and I am mainly and especially oily in my T-zone and right here on top of my cheeks. I have had this type of skin my entire life. Growing up, I struggled with acne and with large pores, and large pores just tend to run in my family. What can I say? So I am always on the hunt for the best foundation, concealer, powder, primer, all of that combination that is going to help combat those ugly oils that always tend to show through before lunchtime. So I thought I would make a video for all of you out there who struggle just like me with keeping your oils in check, and I'm going to show you guys some skincare products, primer, foundation, concealer, the whole routine on how I have learned to get my normal to oily skin stay matte and flawless all day long. And some of the things that I'm going to show you are recent routines that I've started to implement into my daily makeup application. There's some tips and tricks in here that I just learned like days ago, and since I've been working from home this past week, I've really been able to try them out and experiment with my daily makeup routine. So if you want to see my long-lasting matte makeup routine, keep on watching. All right, so before we begin any makeup application, it's important for you all to have a good skincare routine. Of course, you want to make sure that you start off with a clean face. That means washing your face in the morning or before you apply your makeup. Add a toner if that is something that you use, and make sure that your moisturizer is an oil-free moisturizer, preferably a mattifying moisturizer. I have one that I'm going to recommend to you, and this is by the brand Origins. This is the Original Skin Matte Moisturizer with Willowherb. Unfortunately, this is all gone. I don't have any of the product left to show you, but I've used this for quite a while, and it does a really great job of just mattifying my skin, especially my T-zone, and getting it ready for makeup application. The next thing you want to make sure that you do is, of course, add sunscreen, especially if you are applying your makeup in the morning. That is, of course, going to lead you outdoors and indoors, and just throughout the day, you want to make sure that if your skin is exposed to the sun, it is protected. One of my recent loves is from the brand Supergoopl, and this is the Unseen Sunscreen. This does have SPF 40. This does a great job of mattifying the skin, and it also has gripping properties, which means you could very well use this as your primer. Now, after letting your sunblock really absorb into your skin for about, if you can give it 15 minutes, that would be great. But if you only have 5 or 10 minutes, that's fine. Just let it kind of sit for a little bit. Now we're going to go in with the primer. So the primer that we use is going to be very important, and it's going to pretty much set the tone for how the rest of our foundation and how the base of our complexion is going to look throughout the day. I have a few options for you, and these are based off of my personal experience. These are products that I've had in my collection for a while now. Some are more recent finds, more recent loves, but I feel pretty confident recommending these to you. So on the high end of primers, the first one I have here is the Farsali Liquid Powder. Again, does a great job of mattifying in the T-zone. This is a little on the pricey side. I'd want to say this is about $52. So little expensive on this one, but it does what it says it's going to do. The new Tatcha, this is the, let me get my camera to focus. This is the Liquid Silk Canvas. A little of this, guys, goes a long way. This one does come with a pump applicator. This is a liquid form of the highly loved Tatcha the Silk Canvas Primer, which is more of a balm consistency. I do have that one. I love that one. But this one does a really, really great job of mattifying my T-zone. I mean, really mattifying it. So if you guys can pick up a sample, maybe at Sephora or wherever you can find Tatcha products, definitely go that route and try it out and see for yourself. But I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this one. Another high-end primer that I really love is from GLAMGLOW, and this is the Super Mattify 6 Acid Clarifying Primer. So if you're one that's acne prone or prone to breakouts, this is something that you definitely want to check out. Now this one is a kind of like a balm consistency. Let me show you what this looks like. I've reviewed this one on my channel before. This one has done a great job. It has a nice like organic scent to it. No, it's a eucalyptus scent to it. And it just feels really, really smooth on the skin, and it doesn't feel over drying either. It still feels like your skin has some hydration in it, but it's still doing what we want it to do, which is to mattify our skin. Another one that I have that's high end, but I'm going to include it like in the drugstore section of these primers, is from Too Faced. And the reason why I'm going to include it like in the drugstore section is because I got the travel size, which is only about $14, I believe. I'll leave all of the prices down below and the links so that you guys can click on them. But this is the Too Faced Primed and Peaching Cooling Matte Primer, Skin Perfecting Primer. It says it's infused with peach and sweet fig cream. I enjoy using this one. I love a lot of the products that are in the Peach Perfect line. This is one of them. This one also comes with a pump applicator. Again, does another great job of just mattifying my skin, especially my T-zone where I tend to get the oiliest. Ulta makes a mattifying primer, and this is the oil-free mattifying face primer. It says it controls shine and blurs pores. I wouldn't say this is the best out of the ones that I'm showing you, but for the drugstore, it does a pretty decent job. The last primer that I have to recommend to you guys is from e.l.f. and this is the Matte Putty Primer. I reviewed this alongside the GLAMGLOW primer, and I'll definitely leave that link so you guys can check this out. But this is a kind of like a balm, like a putty, exactly what it says it is. And this one does a good job, especially when you really press this into your T-zone or wherever it is that you have the oiliest parts of your face. Just really press it in and just kind of keep pressing that. Don't keep adding more and more, but just kind of just keep pressing it on the areas where you need to control your shine. And you'll find that this one does a pretty great job. It has a really great price tag too. It's only $8. So for today's tutorial, I am going to go in with the Farsali, the Liquid Powder Oil Balancing Serum. And I just work in sections with this one. You'll notice I'm just really kind of pressing, and I'm focusing it mainly where I get the oiliest or where I have my larger pores. Now let's move on to foundation, and I have again high-end and drugstore options for you guys to choose from. And from the drugstore, let me start with that first. I have one, and I need to throw it out, and I'm not going to use it today, but it's definitely something that I have on my list to repurchase. This is from the brand Rimmel, and this is a Stay Matte Foundation. I have the shade 100 Ivory. This does a really amazing job with just lasting on my normal to oily skin and just really keeping me matte throughout the duration of my workday. I'm highly impressed with this foundation, and it only costs like $5, so it's definitely on my list to repurchase. Another one from the drugstore that I find just really does an amazing job of controlling my oils and lasting for a really long time on my skin is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I have the shade 103. Those are my top picks from the drugstore that I have personally had experience with. You guys might have something different, something that works for you. By all means, go with that. Use whatever works best for you. These are just the ones that I've had in my collection and what I have found has worked best for me. My first high-end foundation is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear with SPF 15. This is amazing at stain power. This is just amazing at really controlling my oils for at least 8 hours. I don't have to do any touch-ups with this one. It just does an amazing job of lasting really well, especially like right in here and around my nose. That's where makeup tends to cake up on me first, and that's because of my oily skin. Next, I have the Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter Foundation, and this one I have in the shade Vanilla 120B. This foundation does an amazing job of providing coverage while mattifying the skin and lasting the duration of the day. I can go a full workday without having to touch this up. The coverage just lasts all day too. So if you're in need of something that's fuller coverage, this is definitely going to be something that you want to check out. One of my favorite foundations that I've used and loved for many years, probably the entire time I've been able to wear makeup, that is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. Guys, again, coverage, this is going to provide it. Mattifying, this is going to provide it. This just stays put all day long. It looks really nice at the end of my workday. Highly recommend checking out. Estee Lauder just makes some really great foundations, and this is definitely one of them. I have 2 more foundations to recommend to y'all. The next one is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. Again, I am a huge fan of the Too Faced Peach Perfect line. This foundation just does such a great job of having a more natural look, but still keeping me matte in the places on my face where I need to stay matte. It lasts all day long. This says that it's going to provide oil-free 14-hour wear with oil control. I have the shade Snow on this one. And I'll leave all the shades and everything that I have listed down below. But I've been a fan of this foundation. I have it in 2 shades actually, so I kind of mix and match depending on the time of year it is. But this has definitely been one of my favorites for quite some time. It just wears so nicely on my skin. And last but not least is a more recent find, a more recent love, and that is from IT Cosmetics. This is the Bye Bye Foundation. This is the Full Coverage Moisturizer, Oil-Free Matte with SPF 50. I think this is more of a medium coverage foundation, but you could definitely build it up in the areas that you need to. Stays matte all day long. If you haven't tried this, if you are a fan of the original CC cream, the illumination and the regular version, and the other products that IT Cosmetics has, if you haven't tried this one yet, this is the oil-free matte version. This is the latest one. I highly recommend checking this out. I did do a review video over this, and I'll definitely leave that linked up above so you guys can check it out and see if this is going to be something that you think works best on your skin. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation, and I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. Now I'm really pressing the foundation into my T-zone, into the areas where I tend to get the oiliest. All right, now that I have pressed the foundation into my skin, I do think that the foundation's a little light for me. I'm kind of working on my tan right now that I'm working from home, so I have some time to be outdoors now. So I think it could be a little bit darker, but that's the shade I have, and that's the shade that we're working with. For concealer, I have a few options for you. Now, from the drugstore, I like the Covergirl TruBlend Undercover Concealer. Does a great job of spot concealing as well as being placed under the eye area without adding any shine, without adding any of that dewy effect that might kind of bring out the oils in our skin, which is what we're trying to avoid. I also like the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. Also a big fan of the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. Comes in a lot of shades to choose from on this. This one is, I believe, $5, so absolutely not bad at all. High-end concealers that I like, of course, without a doubt, Tarte Shape Tape. This is a great mattifying concealer. You can use this everywhere, all over your face. This just does a great job of concealing, and it also adds a mattifying effect wherever you apply it. Another one of my favorites is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. Again, great coverage while mattifying the skin. And last but not least, the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. So now I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and I am in the shade, I have the shade Oatmeal. I think that might be a little too dark for the foundation that I have right now. So you know what? I'm going to go in with the Covergirl TruBlend, and this one is in the shade Light Ivory. That's better. Again, you really want to press the product into the skin so that we make sure it is in place, it stays put, and it doesn't budge. I'm going to add a little bit of concealer to my eyelids as well. Now it's time to set the face, and I have a couple recommendations as far as setting powders go. The first one is from the drugstore. This is the CoverGirl Clean Professional Translucent Setting Powder. I also enjoy using the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. I have both the extra coverage and then the regular version of this. And of course, my favorite high-end powder is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. So for today, I am going to go in with the Too Faced powder. Now I'm going to take a dry beauty blender and I'm going to pick up some of that powder. This is a baby beauty blender. And I'm going to start pressing that into the oiliest places of my face. Now I'm going to pat down my under eye area with just my finger to kind of get rid of those little creases that might have formed from placing down the concealer. And with the same dry beauty blender, I'm going to pick up some more powder and I'm going to set. I'm also going to set my eyelids. Now I'm going to go in with a pressed mattifying powder for the rest of my face. And two of the ones that I like, this first one is from Catrice. This is the Prime and Fine mattifying powder. This is waterproof. And almost identical to it is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is the waterproof setting powder. So I'm going to go in with the Catrice one. And I'm just going to take a fluffy powder brush and buff that into the outer edges of my face. Now, the next thing you want to do is set your face. And one of my more recent discoveries, one of my more recent loves has been the new Morphe Mattifying Continuous Setting Mist. Guys, this setting spray, I love the original version. I love the Jeffree Star version, but this mattifying setting spray is the real deal. It just extends, I guess, the mattifying wear of my makeup for longer. I can stay matte longer throughout the day versus when I use my regular, the typical setting spray. I absolutely love this one. I 100% recommend this one to you guys. Now I'm gonna go back and just look at my makeup, press out anything that I feel needs to be pressed out. This is the dry beauty blender. Now, the next thing you would do is go ahead and proceed with the rest of your makeup. The one thing I want to tell you guys not to do is to use any cream-based products on your skin, meaning no cream contour, no cream bronzer, and no cream blush or highlighter. Let all of those things be powder-based products. Now, if you're thinking, you know what, Steph, I like it, it's matte, but I still want to glow, let your glow come from the powder-based highlighter that you choose to use. And of course, you add your highlighter right up here, a little bit above the brow bone, maybe a little bit up here on the forehead. If you want to add a little bit right here to the bridge of your nose and to the tip of your nose, that's fine too. The Cupid's bow, the chin, wherever you want to apply highlighter, if that's something that you like to do, go for it, just as long as it's a powder-based highlight. Now, before you head out the door, I want you to apply 2 different setting sprays to your face. First and foremost, I want you to do the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is going to lock the makeup in place. It is not going to budge, and it's also going to help to keep those oils away. The final setting spray that I want you to use is to go back in with the Morphe Mattifying Continuous Setting Mist. This will just make sure that if any oils have started to come through, which they shouldn't have because we pretty much locked them in, this will help to make sure everything just sets and stays matte throughout the day. So this has been a really great combo for me as of late. I've enjoyed using this one for so many years. And of course, this one, the mattifying version of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, is a recent love and find for me. So guys, that completes today's video. I hope I was able to give you guys some good tips and tricks on how to make your oily skin stay matte and last all day long. I will definitely leave all of the products I used and showed you guys in today's video linked in the description box down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. You guys have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.